Yo, NBA, man, y'all need to look into the Bucks for tampering. Y'all do. I'm just gonna put that out there. Y'all didn't hear it from me, but I heard it through somebody. Y'all look at them for tampering.
All right, man. Damian Lillard just got traded to the Milwaukee Bucks, bro. I'm so excited. I'm so surprised. I have the exact same reaction you guys have. Nobody's seen this coming. I literally just made a video about NBA loyalty, and arguably two of the most loyal players for the last decade, now they're teammates. Kind of the theme of last video was about Giannis and Dame. Giannis was kind of growing frustration with the Bucks because he didn't like the direction of their team. They've been the oldest team in the league for like the last 2 years. And they probably will be this year. And Dame, he's with Portland, and they obviously drafted his replacement. So those two were mainly what I was talking about. And now they're teammates, and we know that is a perfect duo. Now, the details of this trade, or at least what we know so far, the Bucks, they got Dame. Portland, they got Jrue Holiday, who I don't really expect to stay there. DeAndre Ayton in the 3-team trade, a first-round pick, and 2 pick swaps. And the Suns, who jumped into this trade, they got Nurkic, Grayson Allen, Nasir Little, and Keon Johnson. Bro, I'm lost for words. Now, I'm going to try to attack this trade from all angles, including the Miami Heat. The Milwaukee Bucks, obviously, they just got significantly better. The Jrue Holiday trade in 2020, that was a massive move, a championship move. He had the signature steal against Devin Booker in the finals. He had great moments, but I feel like it's ran its course. And I think Giannis kind of knew that, and they really had to make a move to keep Giannis happy. And god damn, did they. I think the big four of Jrue Holiday, Chris Middleton, Giannis, and Brook Lopez is great. They looked dominant all last year up until they seen Miami in the first round, and Giannis got hurt and they couldn't quite recover. But with that being your big four, and with them taking up a majority of the salary cap, and with Chris Middleton's injury, and with them being older now, and with their bench being a little bit thin, they needed a spark offensively. And Dame, I mean, come on, bro. It's Damian Lillard. I hate to down Jrue Holiday a bit just to emphasize how much better they're going to be, at least offensively. But in the last 2 playoffs, specifically once they lost Chris Middleton or he got injured, Jrue Holiday hasn't really been good. Offensively, he was very inefficient for the last 2-3 playoffs, and defensively, at least last year, and we know he's known as being a perimeter defender, Jimmy Butler ate him alive, so you really couldn't see his value. This is why this move is so big for Milwaukee, because now Giannis probably can sign that extension and be happy because he knows he has Dame. I feel like in the 2022 playoffs when they played Boston and they lost in 7, it always reminded me of LeBron in 2015 when he played Golden State. If you look at Giannis's and LeBron's raw efficiencies in those series, you would think they played bad, when in reality they shot bad because they shot a lot because they didn't have much offensive help. Jrue Holiday in that Boston series specifically, he was terrible when he got much more attention without Chris Middleton, because I don't really think that's naturally his role, even beside Giannis. And again, I don't know what Chris Middleton is coming back. So if he's never quite that Chris Middleton we've seen in 2021, and Jrue Holiday is not naturally that guy, they're probably going to have the same end result. Now you replace Jrue with Dame. Oh my God, a natural 30-point per game scorer, a natural 3-level scorer, somebody to me that's an underrated playmaker if you give him the right weapons, somebody whose gravity rivals Steph, somebody who's never played with anybody near the greatness or definitely the versatility of a Giannis, somebody who's never really even played on a great defensive team. That pick and roll action between Dame and Giannis is just going to be magical. And they kept Chris Middleton and Brook Lopez. Now they have 2 very great closers if Chris Middleton can get anywhere near back to what he once was. Bro, they're easily the favorites in the East. I know Dame said he wouldn't play with anybody outside of Miami, or they reported that he wouldn't come to anybody else's camp and all that, whatever. But he gets to play with Giannis in arguably the most perfect situation he can possibly ask for. They even pulled up that tweet from 2022 when they asked him who would he play with if he can help get his first ring or something like that. And he said Giannis, and then it just happened. Now for the Blazers, it almost feels like they were hell-bent on not giving Miami exactly what they wanted, and mainly Dame exactly what he wanted. Not saying Portland got fleeced or anything like that, because I like the team and the package they got. DeAndre Ayton is an upgrade from Nurkic. I'm interested to see how him and Scoot Henderson will play off each other. They did get Jrue Holiday, who I expect them to flip possibly to Miami, possibly to Philly. He's going to be a hot commodity, and they're going to get picks from that. They got a first-round pick, and they got 2 pick swaps to pair with that first-round pick and whatever compensation they get back from Jrue Holiday, I'm assuming. I think Chauncey Billups got a nice little squad. Scoot, Anthony Simons, DeAndre Ayton on a big contract, and Jeremy Grant extended. that's a great place to be left after losing your cornerstone player for the last decade. Now for the Phoenix Suns, I do see people saying they got a little bit worse because they did flip DeAndre Ayton essentially for Nurkic, and DeAndre Ayton is better. But I can see that point, but I see it a little bit differently. With the big three they have, the potent offensive big three they had with Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, and Kevin Durant, that's already taken up a lot of the cap. I don't think you really need to pay a traditional center $32-33 million a year. If you can flip him for somebody that gives you similar production, maybe you drop off just a bit and you're able to flex out that cap a little bit more and get more depth, I think you can make that move. And I'm not mad at Phoenix for doing that. I like their roster before this move, and I like their roster after this move. And DeAndre Ayton, I think he needed new scenery. I think it's time that Phoenix kind of ran its course. He was kind of a disappointing first pick, especially considering who you picked him over. You paid him because you really had to, and last playoffs, he was disappointing. I don't think you needed DeAndre Ayton. Now, the obvious biggest losers in all of this, the Miami Heat. Oh my God. You put your whole summer on hold. Pat Riley made basically no moves to get Dame because Dame chose Miami just for you to not get Dame right before the training camp starts. Yes, they've had success. In 2022, they made the Eastern Conference Finals. They was one shot away from making the finals. And last year, obviously, they made the NBA Finals and they lost in 6. But that team, it's not enough, especially with Dame joining Milwaukee. Now, with the much more improved Eastern Conference, we don't know exactly what's going on with Philly, but Milwaukee and Boston, they're clearly the powerhouses in the East. I believe both of them got better. You have to sit for another year with that terrible Kyle Lowry contract, that terrible Duncan Robinson contract that doesn't expire until like 2025. You lost Gabe Vincent and you really made no significant moves. That's sad. I respect the hell out of Heat culture and Eric Spoelstra and Pat Riley and everything they've built. They made 3 conference finals in the last 4 years and 2 NBA finals. But both reasons they lost both finals is because they didn't quite have the dudes. The team they surprisingly beat last year in the first round just got the guy you were supposed to have, and they just got so much better, and they already had the dude, Giannis. So like I said, but that's tough for Miami, and to me, they're clearly the biggest losers in all of this. I'm gonna have much more on this, obviously, as the season prolongs, but to wrap this up, for Miami, that's tough. They're the biggest L's in all of this. For Milwaukee, they just got Dame and Giannis, 2 top 10 players, and to me, the best new duo in the Eastern Conference, and who knows, maybe in the league. I'm gonna still respect Denver, but talent-wise, I mean, I just don't know. And for Phoenix, I know people say they lost because they lost DeAndre Ayton, but they got more depth. They got off of DeAndre Ayton's contract. To me, that was not that great, especially what they already had with the big 3, and they got more flexibility with the cap. I don't mind that for Phoenix. If you guys like this video, like this video. We needed this because the offseason has been so damn dry. Obviously, training camp starts, preseason starts, I believe, like next week. Everything is about to kick off, and this was the perfect way to come into the NBA season. I'm so happy. They scheduled Miami and Portland. I believe Portland's only primetime game is against Miami. I believe the day after MLK Day or something like that. And that trade didn't even happen. That's crazy. If you guys like this video, follow my social media sites for all my live reactions. Do all that great stuff, guys. And until next time, as always, stay tuned.